And just like that, the Penguins are down 2-0 in this series. Listen, last game was very frustrating, but I still came on the video with some jokes, kind of in a good mood. Obviously, because it was only game 1 out of a best-of-7 series. But now I'm definitely a little bit more frustrated, and I'm taking it a little bit more seriously, to the point where I needed to wait like 30 minutes to make this video, because if I came right after the loss, I would have said some really stupid things, and I would have just gotten a lot of people mad. So I waited. I'm still really frustrated. But anyways, let's just get right into this game. Before we get into the bad and the negative, let me just say, you're not in trouble until you lose a game at home. The Penguins are down 2-0, but they're not out. Go back to Pittsburgh, you win 2 there. Go back to game 5, tie 2-2. It's a whole different series. The Penguins need to come out and set the tone in Pittsburgh for game 3. They need to play their best 60 minutes they have played all season long, and then they can hopefully use that momentum and take it into game 4 and hopefully tie this thing up. But let's just focus on game 3 now, because this is the series-changing game here. If you win, you're still in it. If you lose, I personally don't think the Penguins have what it takes to come back from down 3-0 against this team. Now, let's focus on game 2 and what went wrong for the Penguins in this game. Well, in my opinion, I thought they played even worse than they did in game 1. Game 1, they started off terrible, but it was more of a roller coaster. They had their ups and they had their downs. Stupid turnovers, but they had good moments. Me, in this game 2, I didn't see much positive for the Penguins. Besides the end, when they pulled their goalie and they were getting those chances, I don't think the Penguins really had back-to-back shifts where they were really putting on offensive pressure at all throughout the whole game. The Penguins looked lost once again in the first period. They were just trying to hang on, and they were lucky that it was scoreless after 1 because of Matt Murray. Game could have easily been 2-3-0 after 20, but Matt Murray made some great quality saves, one on a breakaway, some on the power play, to keep it, like I said, a 0-0 game. But after a bad first period, usually you'll respond with a really good second. And I was so confident in the Penguins having a really good second period because of how they got away with it in the first period, but instead they arguably had a worse period with all those penalties. And again, they could have went down 2-3-0 in those power plays alone, but Matt Murray with some great saves. But then the Penguins took advantage of all the Islanders' missed opportunities and went the other way and scored, opened the scoring, 1-0 Penguins. And that was the first right thing they did of the game. But then from there, I don't know how long it was, but what, 2-3 minutes after, you let a 2-on-1 come the other way. Matt Murray with another great save, but no one gets the rebound, and it's a 1-1 game. Just like 2 minutes after, we just scored to make it 1-0. And then the Islanders' second goal is a terrible pinch by Jack Johnson. Good move by Eberle, and then it's 2-1 Islanders. And then a few minutes later, the Islanders pretty much confirmed the win with a 3-1 power play goal. And then after the game, the word I used to describe this game on Twitter was embarrassing. And I feel like I got some people mad by saying that, but it was an embarrassing loss. You know, you're coming off a game 1 loss. You want to come in hard for game 2, and they play even worse in game 2 than they did in game 1. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I don't think I saw the Penguins with a moment where they just dominated. In game 1, they had the second half of the second period where they were just dominating. They could have went up 2-3 goals in that moment right there. The Penguins didn't even have a 5-minute span where they dominated. Not even a 3-minute span where they dominated. Not even back-to-back shifts where you could be like, wow, the Penguins killed those 2 shifts. All I saw was 1 or 2 good chances in 1 shift by the Penguins, followed by 10 Islanders good shifts. Obviously, I'm over-exaggerating, but you guys get what I mean. The Penguins didn't have not even a span of any type of minutes where they dominated, where you're like, you know, they could have scored 2-3 goals in this moment right here. As for the Islanders, they had a span of 10 minutes where they could have scored 2-3 goals in the first, in the second, and then the third. And that's why I used the word embarrassing describing tonight's loss. And obviously, if you disagree, you can come in the comments and tell me why you think the Penguins' loss wasn't embarrassing. But for me, this was the definition of embarrassing. And the only thing that kept it reasonable on paper was Matt Murray, because if it wasn't for him, it would have been 5-6 or 7-1 Islanders. And like I said on Twitter, it's not the loss that upsets me the most, it's how they're losing. This is starting to remind me of the Dan Bilesma Pittsburgh Penguins. And one play that described that was at the end of the game. All the stars are on the ice for the Penguins, and they all get involved in those fights at the end. Crosby has his helmet off, Kessel's fighting, Malkin's whacking away, Letang and Gensel were getting involved. It just was a mess, because that's the type of stuff that the Penguins avoided in their back-to-back cup runs. And I got some people telling me on Twitter, oh, it's good, they got emotion. But that's not the type of emotion I want from the Penguins, because they had that same emotion in 2012, 2013, 2014, and what did that get them? Nothing at all. You need to have that emotion when the play is going on, not afterwards. And I mentioned this team is starting to look like the Dan Bilesma era Penguins, but the one thing that Mike Sullivan can do that Dan Bilesma couldn't is pushing the reset button. Whatever happened to the motto of this team, just play. That's it. All you gotta do is just play your Penguins hockey, and good things will come. All right, so what do we need to do for game 3? I did suggest some line changes on Twitter, but I did delete that tweet because you guys were flaming me because it came off the wrong way. I suggested to split up Crosby and Gensel, but I guess I said it the wrong way, so you guys were really going in on me, so I deleted the tweet. So let me explain what I meant. I didn't mean to split them up because they suck. I meant you need to find something that's going to work, and obviously that first line is not working right now. They worked all season long, and I'm not saying it's over forever. But right now, you need a spark. You need to spark something up. And I think Jake Gensel's good enough where he can carry his own line, or at least help carry his own line. And my mindset behind that tweet was, what if the first line without Gensel catches fire with Crosby and whoever you replace Gensel with? And then if Gensel catches fire on his own line, now you have 2 fire lines instead of 1 struggling. That was my mindset. Just try something, because you really don't want to go down 3-0 in this series, obviously. That's all I meant from that suggestion. Just change it up, you know. You can't just go into the game with the same lineup hoping that it's going to work this time around. But obviously, that was just a suggestion by me, just trying to throw anything at the wall, hoping it sticks. I don't think they need or will do that for Game 3. I also do think having home ice is going to help that first line, because we get to have the last change, so we control who the Crosby line gets to play against. So before you do anything like that, I think you wait and see how Game 3 goes, because I do think Crosby and Gensel have a big Game 3 coming up. Like I said, they've been extremely quiet the first 2 games, and the fact that we're at home ice and Mike Sullivan controls the matchups now, and that's going to be huge for the first line. So that's going to wrap it up. A very disappointing loss, but like I said before, you're not in trouble until you lose on home ice. And I know people love to throw out the must-win thing, but I really do think these next 2 games are must-wins or close to it. You don't want to go back to Game 5, down 3-1, having to win 3 straight, 2 of those games being in New York. That just seems very unlikely for me. And with how this season has gone, I would not be surprised if this team comes out playing their best hockey games 3 and 4, because this season, in my opinion, has been the definition of inconsistency. You have one team that looks like they can go all the way, and you have another team that looks like they shouldn't even be in the playoffs. Like I said, the Penguins need to just press that reset button and start over. Game 3, it's a fresh start. That's pretty much all I have to say for this one. And one more thing, Matt Murray has been great. I don't care what anyone's saying. If you think he's bad, you're wrong on this one. He's the reason why this game wasn't 6-1 tonight. This is a completely different goalie from the beginning of the season, and we should be thankful that he found his game. And we're going to need him to be a big part for this hopeful comeback that is on the way. And I don't know about you guys, but I have all the faith in the world in Matt Murray to get this job done. Anyways, that's it for this video. Obviously, comment your thoughts. I want to hear what you have to say. What went wrong for the Penguins this game? And obviously, the Penguins losing is kind of making this channel a little bit downer. Like, obviously everyone's in a bad mood right now. So hopefully next game we can win, and I come in here and we're finally happy and in a good mood, because I'm sick and tired of coming in here and being all sad because we're losing. So let's get this big win. I have faith in this team and pulling the comeback, because it's still the team that won the back-to-back cups. So the core's still here. Yes, they're a little older, but I still believe in this team, and I think you should too. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys at the end of Game 3 in what should hopefully be the start of a potential comeback. I mean, we can only hope. Thank you guys so much for watching.